We're live and we're into raid. All right, so what all do I have here? It's we need to get me to Europe. Let's see. Damn, I am not going to be able to use all my multi-passes. Got an hour and 15 minutes. I could. What do we have? Dragon right now. I wonder if I can speed. I would love to speed the dragon up. I just don't know. Other than... split the cost and buy me a plane ticket. Do I spend any money on raid? I do the monthly raid pass. No different than FIFA, where I buy the star pass. In raid, I buy the star pass, which is called it's the raid pass, something raid. I don't remember what it's called, but it's the same thing. It's $10 a month. And it gives you a lot more multi-battles. It doubles your coins. Let's see, what did we get? Speed. Helmet. I need dungeon divers. Dungeon Divers ends in 10 hours. Shit. Raid card, that's what it is. So 10 hours on Dungeon Divers. And I'm at 1133. I need 1700 in 10 hours. That's going to be Spider. It's the only way that's going to work. I don't know where I'm at in 25. I'd have to rebuild. This is champion training as tournament. One day for champion training. So Dungeon Divers is the most important thing. $4,400. And where am I at? And I still have a day for this, so I can forget champion training. This thing's been running really slow today. $44. I only need 300. That'll come quick. So basically, I need to focus on Dungeon Divers first and stop worrying about anything else. I need to ascend an artifact. I'm 46. Going on 100. That's what it feels like. Ascend. No, I want boots. Speed. I can't get crit damage out of anything else. Damn, no crit damage on anything. I needed it out of the gauntlets. I should probably rebuild Cold Heart. attack. Speed 16. Like, I could throw in a better attack banner if I have one. As long as I keep my speed in the same range. Don't have one. Alright, let's check out the other one. Crit rate. So we need a crit damage or crit rate bump. I'm one shy. I gotta go do. Do good something like drinking beer in Germany. You're killing me. One time, and then we'll do 60. Your second account is on 660 turns on Bommel. I'm 1 day behind on... I forgot a day of Doom Tower. Don't remember why. Just know I'm a day behind. It's a shame to be called beer. It's like beer flavored water. And Cold Heart. Let's ascend this and hope for crit damage. Come on, crit damage. Damn it. Damn it. I just want more crit damage. I want to be able to do Spider just a little bit faster. Alright, so that's done. Monthly, I'm getting there. 5 more champions. So the challenges are all complete. I need dungeon divers. So let's look at Spider, which is the easiest and fastest way to get all of these in. We don't need to worry about losing. See how fast we can run it. No, I've never tried it. I can pretty much drink anything. My top 3 beers would be Guinness #1, Draft. Number 2 would be Draft. Number 2 would be Draft Fat Tire. New Belgium. It's like out of Colorado. Number 3 is Draft Blue Moon with extra orange. If I'm drinking at home, it's Blue Moon and hard orange mixed. That's my favorite. I'm a big fan of, I like Heineken. I like Asahi. I really like Asahi. Think U.S. Customs take it? Probably. Jaeger bombs? I don't do Jaeger bombs. I can't stand Jaeger. I don't like licorice. But I will do an Irish car bomb all day long. every day, all day. Love car bombs. Guinness, Jameson, and Bailey's. So good. Actually, I could just... One of my favorite things to do is just sit down with a 6-pack of Guinness at home with a glass of Bailey's. Guinness and Bailey's together. I can't do Jack Daniels. I had a very bad experience a long time ago, and it just has never... I can't even get close to any kind of whiskey if it's not tainted with a whole lot. I can't even smell Jack Daniels. 21 years ago. Bad experience, and it has never gone away. I ruined myself. 21 years. Jack and Coke. And it was so bad that afterward, it was over a year before I could drink Coke. If I'm drinking anything, if I could have anything, it would be frozen rum slush would be number 1. And second would be apple pie. 120 proof apple pie. That's what I need to make. I need to make a big shitload of apple pie to just leave in my fridge. God, I love apple pie. My family has a family recipe for rum slush, and we've been making it and drinking it for over 50 years. It is the best rum slush ever. The last time I had it was when and try some shine. I had rum slush, frozen rum slush. My dad and I sat down and drank it around a campfire the night my nephew was born. And it was not a good night. I didn't know I could projectile vomit. I found out that night. Oak Heart Bacardi with raspberry slush. I like raspberry. The rum slush that we make is Bacardi 151. It's Bacardi 151 and frozen lemonade concentrate, frozen limeade concentrate. You boil it, then you add the Bacardi, and then there's a bunch of sugar in it, and then you freeze it. Oh, it's so good. God. You see, okay, you guys know that I go to Tennessee a lot for car shows. There's a lot of car shows down in Tennessee. I've been going down there for car shows since 1992. 1992 was the first year I went down there for a show. When I was in college, about 1995, 94-ish, for about 10 years, we went down every year and stayed at the same hotel. And we had it was all owned by this family, and they knew us. That you know, they had our whole group would come down. We'd bring 15, 20 people and stay in 2 hotel rooms. And they knew us. The mom that owned the place had daughters, 2 daughters that worked there, and they were a little older than me, but I was one of the younger ones that went. And the daughters would hang out with us and drink with us. And that one year, I was a sophomore in college, we were down there, and the 2 daughters came over, and they're like, my dad makes moonshine. We're going to bring you a jar of it tomorrow. We would be down there for like 4 days. We're like, all right, bring it over. So they brought this big ass jar of homemade moonshine, and it was like drinking like rocket fuel. And everybody was drinking it, was mixing stuff with it to drink it. And the next year, when we got down there, the daughters were like, oh, are you guys coming? We called, just to confirm to make sure our room and stuff was still ready. And they're like, oh, we're going to have you hooked up. So we got there, in our 2 hotel rooms, in both fridges, there were like 3 mason jars in each fridge in the hotel rooms. And from that year forward, every single year we went down, for at least 10 years, our fridges were full of moonshine when we got there. The daughters would put it in there. And then one year we went down, and the mom wasn't there. The daughters told us that she wasn't doing well. She was in the hospital. And then the next year, they called us and said that the mom passed away. And the mom passed away probably 10 years ago, 15 years ago. And they they ended up selling it. We stayed for another few years under the new owners, but it wasn't the same. And we just stopped going to the car show. Once the mom died and her daughters sold the place, it just wasn't the same. We stopped going to that show. So depressing. And then I was down there 2 years ago for Slammed Enough in October. And the hotel that we had stayed at for 20 years, they tore it down, and it's now a I think it's a Jeep rental place. Or no, wait, it's a Gino's Pizza. It's like a little place, and it's got Gino's Pizza. And there's like a Gino's Pizza and a putt-putt golf course or something stupid where our hotel was. It's so depressing. It's very sad. I have lots and lots and lots of memories of that hotel. Stayed in the same room every year for decades. Police came to that room multiple years for multiple different reasons. I think I threw up in both bathrooms for both hotel rooms. Such good times. Yeah, I haven't had moonshine since, like actual moonshine. They sell like this fake moonshine shit around here, but it's not the same. Have you seen the new David Harbour film? I watched Violent Night Saturday. If that's what you're talking about. We watched Violent Night on Saturday and absolutely loved it. What? There's a new David Harbour movie? What's the new David Harbour movie? That's his last movie. Isn't it? Should I look? You thought it was good. I was just really disappointed because I wanted it to be more about Joel. Okay, David Harbour. Last movies. Yeah, Violent Night. We Have a Ghost? Is that what movie you're talking about? We Have a Ghost? Kids movie? They Have a Ghost. It's good? See, my daughter would watch it. You know what movie I want to see right now more than anything? What I want to see more than anything is The Old Way. That's my next. He doesn't say a word the whole movie. I want to see The Old Way. I want to see The Old Way. I would like to see Cocaine Bear, yes. I really want to see the new Scream, but it's only for Jenna Ortega. Specifically for Jenna Ortega. And I'm not ashamed to say it. Violent Night Watch Party. If it comes on Amazon Prime, that would be worth it. It was good. It was funny. It was very funny. We were talking. Somebody was. I can't remember what we were talking about. There was a movie that was brought up the other day that I haven't seen in a long time. I was going to watch it. Oh, 8mm. Best movie coming for 2023. Expendables 4. I forgot they were making a new Expendables. Write it down with the other watch parties to do before you turn 60. Yeah, I would rather see John Wick 4. I am very, very, very anxious about John Wick 4. Yeah. You have to watch the trailer. Watch the trailer for The Old Way. The Old Way is basically Western John Wick with Nicolas Cage. That's what it looks like. What's Tulsa King? The new one with Nicolas Cage as Dracula that follows it. Who's the actor that plays Nicolas Cage is as Dracula, but who is it? It's called Renfield, but it's shit. I can't remember who the guy is that plays Renfield. Tulsa King is a series. And Nicolas Cage as Dracula, it looks funny. It's supposed to be funny. There's a part where he shows up at like a support group. Oh. Tulsa King. Sylvester Stallone? What's it on? Paramount Plus. I literally just shut off Paramount Plus. Just turned it off. And yeah, I shut off Paramount Plus because they still haven't announced Halo Season 2. I'm waiting for Halo Season 2. I'm waiting for Ted Lasso. I'm waiting for the return of Wrexham. Welcome to Wrexham. What else? Today, The Mandalorian was released, and I haven't watched any of it yet. We'll have to sit down tonight and watch the first episode. I never watched She-Hulk. I never watched, I never finished Andor. I still have to finish Andor. We have the new Nick Fury series coming. Plus, I never made it to the theater to see Avatar. And now we have... What's the other one? Sly can't rock anymore, but he owns Tulsa. Is he a good guy or a bad guy or an anti-hero? See, like, I liked, and he's a bad good guy. I liked Sopranos. I watched every season of The Sopranos, but I hated most of the characters in the show. I couldn't find anybody I liked. Fast 10 will be so bad, yes, but it'll still be worth watching. We're still going to watch it. There's no doubt about it. Still have to watch it. All right, I'm seeing... Damn, we haven't been on that long. Today was a late day. I started really late. His brother's going to play his part. They should kill him off. It bothers me that they haven't killed him off. It really bothers me. the whole thing in the last couple movies were like, oh, he's with the kids. It's just fucking stupid. The way they wrote in Chadwick Boseman, his passing, the way they wrote that in for T'Challa in the new Wakanda Forever was excellent. The way they wrote that into the new Wakanda Forever, if you haven't seen it, it is done so tastefully. It's so well done. I loved it. It was sad, but it was so good at the same time. The entire movie is basically wrapped around the death of T'Challa. That's like the main focus of the movie, is what happens because of him, and it's all the way to the last scene of the movie. It all ties into it, and they did it in such a positive way. It was really, really good. They don't have to do that, but they need to just kill him off. Even if it either has to be part of it, and they use his brother to film it, or something, but they need to just incorporate that in. It drives me nuts that they haven't. At the end, when they drove different ways, a tear in my eye, I was bawling. I'm trying to think of what song it was. I'll See You Again. Yeah. Yeah, at the theater. Yeah, the whole place was going crazy. That's sad. The worst, though, hands down, the worst for me was the worst was Carrie Fisher in the Star Wars. Oh my God. When Carrie Fisher died, I just, because you knew it was coming. You knew it was going to happen. Oh my God, that was rough. But Green Mile's different. It's like, okay, they killed off, they get rid of, who was that? It was John Coffey in the movie. But who played him? Who played John Coffey? Why can't I remember the actor's name? Shit. What was his name? Michael Clark Duncan. Didn't he die? Oh, I never saw Hacksaw Ridge, no. And yes, I cried at Star Wars. True story. This tells you anything about how much of a Star Wars super fanatic I am. The very first time I was in the theater and the teaser for Rogue One came on, and it had that reversed deep bass, that rah, rah, is it sound like the alarm, and the trailer started. It was just a teaser. I lost my shit. I was like, oh my God. Yeah, teared, lost it. My son looks over at me. He's like, you're crying at a trailer. Like it's Rogue One. Oh. Star Wars is, I grew up on Star Wars. Hands down. This was my first film at a year old. My parents took me when I was a year old. This is a true story, 100% true. I saw it a dozen times before my first birthday, or my second birthday. And the reason being is because it was the only thing that I would watch and not say anything. So my parents would take me to the movies to see it constantly. Your mom won all 3 of the movies on VHS. Never watched them. No, I spent a year. Okay, so as a kid, the movie came out in 1977. In 1981, 82, they had this thing called MYTHLAX. And it was a monthly subscription that they mailed out to fans. You didn't have to pay for it. It just, I don't remember how, you basically joined a fan club. And they mailed you this thing each month, and it was like a newspaper that came in the mail called MYTHLAX, and it would talk about the upcoming movies, and it would just be interviews with people, behind the scenes stuff, and it came out every month. And I think I was in probably the first grade. One of the MYTHLAX had a list of all these people who had watched the movie, who had watched the original Star Wars more than 100 times. People, and it had interviews with them. I've seen it 184 times. I've seen it 136 times. I've seen it 451 times. That kind of stuff. And why did we lose this? And I was like, oh my God, this is like the coolest thing ever. And back then, this was before VCRs were invented, before we had VHS or anything. What, a banana track? MYTHLAX was the name of the publication. MYTHLAX. Like banthas from the movie. So I was like, oh my God, I want to watch the movie so many times. Because I want to make it on that list. And the VCRs came out, and I bought Star Wars on VHS. It was like $100. Because back then they didn't sell them at the stores. You had to order it through the video store. So it was like $100. So we had a copy of Star Wars, and I would get up every morning, through the summer between school, once you get out of school, all summer long, I would get up every morning and I would watch the movie. First thing, like 8:30 in the morning, I would sit down and watch Star Wars, start to finish, to the point where I knew every word, knew everything, all summer long, just so I could write a letter to MYTHLAX and say, hey, I saw the movie 185 times over the summer. So terrible. Who is this? Emma Chauner? From X Factor? Is that what you're talking about? I cried rivers when Kylo Ren killed his dad in Han Solo. I think I stood up. I was pissed. I don't think I cried. I think I was pissed. Yeah, I get into movies. That's your sister. It pops up Teletubby on. That's your family? What did the triangle say to the circle? You're pointless. My favorite was did you hear about the upset? Was it the upset cannibal? He threw up his hands. Still one of my favorite jokes of all time. Two cannibals eating a clown. One looks at the other one and says, "Does this taste funny to you?" Still, that's still one of my favorite jokes of all time. Does this taste funny to you? What are you while you're in the bathroom? European. Told you the cannibal one yesterday. I love the cannibal one. I love two cannibals eating a clown. One turns to the other one and goes, "Does this taste funny to you?" That shit is epic. Welcome to the stream, Kenny. God. See, my boys, my sons, all they tell me are like pedophile jokes because they're messed up. Terrible jokes. I miss Dustin. Dustin would constantly come to me with awful, awful jokes. He would text me during streams. Like, I would be streaming and he would be texting me with these jokes trying to make me laugh on stream. Like, really, really bad jokes. Like, awful, 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 awful jokes. I love Star Wars, but don't want to travel in space. I can't even look up at the night sky. Freaks me out. Was it that my wife told me the other day? She comes to me and she says, because I have clinical insomnia, and she comes to me the other day and she says, "You know when you stay up really late and you just eat and eat and eat?" It's like, yeah. She said, there's a new medical term for that. I'm like, what is it? And she goes, it's insomnia. It was really funny for me because my wife does not tell jokes at all. At all. So when she tells one, it's so out of character. Som nom 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 nom. Yeah. There could be a salad dressing. Why am I losing matches all of a sudden here? What the hell happened? I thought I had a 100% win rate. You like the ventriloquist, Jeff? What is up with people and fucking ventriloquists? I don't understand how that can be even remotely entertaining. Jeff Dunham's at least a comedian who's been around since I was a kid. And he's funny, but all these other people, this whole wave of these people who sing with ventriloquist dummies, I just want to reach in and I just want to beat them to death with their dummy. I saw Jeff Dunham when I was like 18, years and years ago, and he had, I think he still has it. He had this dummy, and it was this weird looking, like, weird creature, and it only had one shoe, and he looks at him, and he's like, I don't remember the guy's name. Peanut. I think his name was Peanut. I saw him at a mall in Columbus, Ohio, at a comedy club. And he looks down at him and he's like, Peanut, you lost a shoe. And the dummy looks down and he sees his shoe and he was like, nope, I found one. And it's like so subtle. He's like, you lost a shoe. He's like, nope, I just found one. And I lost it. I thought that was the funniest shit I ever heard. It's not even funny. It's terrible. But then again, I could sit and listen to Mitch Hedberg for hours and hours. It's the worst comedian ever. What did one wall say to another wall? I met a man with 7 wives. Each wife had 7 sacks. Each sack had 7 cats. Each cat had 7 kits. Kits, cats, sacks, wives. How many were going to St. Ives? Oh, Jesus. Is that from Pulp Fiction? I'll meet you at the corner. Die Hard. That wasn't Die Hard 1 though, was it? That was Die Hard. That was the one with Samuel L. Jackson. Die Hard with a Vengeance. And Jeremy Irons. I'll meet you at the corner. Jesus. I'm a dead terrorist. They called it Die Hard Mega Hard. Ugh. Yes. No, if you've never seen Mitch Hedberg, he's dead. Mitch Hedberg's dead. But you have to listen to Mitch Hedberg. There's old stuff from Mitch Hedberg on like Spotify. This is the worst comedian ever. His jokes are so bad. They're awful. And when he used to perform, he had this old black guy named, he was like in his 60s. His name was like Chuck. And Chuck would come out on stage with him with an upright bass and just go doom, 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 doom. and just play the bass while he would do a stand-up. And his shit was terrible, but it was so funny. He would just stand there and he would say something, and it would be real slow, and then he would stop, and then he would just, and he would go, "That was a really bad joke. That was really bad. Why do you guys laugh at that one?" He's like, "I bought an ant farm. I had to return it though. Those guys didn't grow shit." How can you be semi-hard at the same time? They're his watchdogs. Yeah, Mitch Hedberg has like a couple minute thing where he talks about, he's like, "I bought a donut the other day and the cashier handed me the donut and a receipt, and I said, you can keep the receipt." And he insisted I take it, and I was like, I don't need a receipt. I cannot imagine any time I would have to prove that I purchased a donut. Like, my friend's like, "You didn't eat that donut the other day," and I was like, "Yeah, motherfucker, I did. Here is the proof." Do I file it at home? I got a filing cabinet under D for donuts. Will The Rock be president of the United States someday? No. But Terry Crews will be. Terry Crews will be the president of the United States someday, and Mountain Dew will be our national drink. And then Luke Wilson will come out of cryogenics and fix everything. All right, that's where I'm going to end it. It's time for me to get some food. And I still have to be back on tonight because I got to do the weekly videos. This was fun. Bad joke night. Don't like Jeremy Clarkson. People love him or hate him. I never mind him. This is what it is. Yes, I will drink beer. When is the stand-up? You mean the sit-down? I don't know. I got to finish writing about 35 minutes worth of material. All right, that's it. Thanks for hanging out. I'm going to let this run. Still have to finish this. Why is the background? All right, thanks a lot. And as long as you guys keep watching, I will keep making videos, and I will see you guys on Friday. Check out New Star Pass tomorrow. I'll be on Discord as much as I can. All right, thanks a lot, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.